I checked their pH with another pH meter.
I started working with liberal studies about 2.5 years ago, and I started looking at some of the things that we might do for certain special groups of our students. The group that was first of interest was the middle school concentrators in math and science. I wanted to bring together some practicing teachers and some pre-service teachers and kind of what I like to call academically intergenerational project.
The teachers here this week are participating in a program called the Chesapeake Bay Academy. This is an opportunity for pre-service and in-service teachers to come to a location and learn how to take their students outside, how to collect information that's relevant to the science courses that they are taking.
I think it's especially good for the pre-service teachers at Longwood to have as many contacts with the practicing teachers as they can. You know, we send them out on a practicum, their student teaching and all. Here they're actually doing research together and can see the actual joys and pleasures of the discipline. It is putting them on equal footing and letting them feel what it's like to be together with the practicing teachers. What we get here that you can't get in a class on campus is the actual experience of doing and seeing and tasting and smelling and understanding person to nature.
We went into Warsaw, and the students were there on what we call place as text explorations. And place as text is a pedagogical approach. Students intentionally explore an area, reading that place as one would a book.
We divided them into a bunch of different groups, and they are exploring the town. They've all gone in different directions. So they've been instructed to kind of get a sense of the area and talk to the locals about what it's like to live here and how it changes at different points of time in the year.
Trying to gain an understanding of a community and how the place affects their daily lives.
We were making some observations about the water quality of the two creeks that feed from Whole Springs Farm into the Chesapeake Bay. We looked at things like temperature, dissolved oxygen, pH, salinity, turbidity, nitrates, and phosphates, and trying to draw some conclusions from the data. And it was really just an exercise in getting the students comfortable with what water quality parameters are and how you might go about measuring them with methods that are easy and inexpensive. Most of them haven't really considered the issues that we're talking about with regard to the bay. So we're trying to give everybody in the class a taste of something that they may not have had before.
The students involved in SOLstice were out. We had them out sampling the living shoreline at Whole Springs Farm, and that involved them using a variety of standard techniques that are used to sample aquatic communities. The throw trapping that they were doing is a technique that's often used in shallow waters to sample animals that live in shallow waters and on the inside of the living shoreline, and by using that throw trap they can sample the animals that live in that marsh. We also had them do seining, which usually is a technique used out in deeper water to sample fish that are on the outside of a living shoreline. The students got to see what fish were actually in the water, and we categorized them, and then we actually looked at the data that we collected from the actual sampling that took place. By exploring these techniques and seeing how the data is actually collected, I think they have a better appreciation that they can take to their classrooms in the future of how science works.
My expectations were to do some hands-on projects to maybe be able to take back to my classroom. I knew it was also connected with pre-service teachers, and so I knew that there was going to be a connection between what the students were learning and the practicing teachers were already doing.
I was looking for an opportunity to find ways to connect this region in particular and this watershed to my students who are far away. So how can I connect them to this region that's so beautiful and so important that they don't see that often?
Being with the college students, it gives me kind of an appreciation for what I need to maybe get my own students prepared for as far as their entry into college, and trying to get some of the pieces in place for my middle school students to be able to do that.
And hopefully being able to convey to my students a whole picture instead of just one aspect of it, just the biology of the critters or just the chemistry of it, but the whole region and how it works all together.
I expected to be sitting in lectures a lot, maybe sitting outside, maybe waiting in the water and collecting something and going inside to look at it. I did not expect to be sailing. While we are sailing, we're getting a lecture, but we aren't sitting in a conference room. We're spending time outside, actively going out and getting to learn and have fun and hang out here at this beautiful place. I love it.
It seemed like a great opportunity to learn more about the Chesapeake Bay because I didn't really know a lot about it. Oh, it's definitely met my expectations. This is a wonderful area to be in. All the professors are amazing. The places we've been, the people we've talked to, they've all opened up not only a science perspective for me, but also talking to people and just finding out what people know.
I either want to be an elementary school teacher or a middle school teacher, and if I'm going to be a middle school teacher, I know I want to be science. This hands-on experience would really give me a good opportunity to go back and reflect on when I'm teaching. I was a little nervous because I thought that we would be out doing all this hardcore science stuff, and we have been doing a lot of good science stuff, but it's been a lot more of what I can feel like I can do.
I would tell them to talk to the students who were here this year.
Oh, do it, definitely. It's been a great experience. I've learned a lot already and we're only halfway through the second week.
I definitely, if you're looking into teaching and you want to know more about the Bay, even this is specifically for teachers, but if they had it for people who weren't teachers, I would recommend it.
Hands-on experiences for me are very important and valuable in the way I learn. So having these opportunities is very important and valuable to me as well.